Oh, well, you know, I really wanted to talk about something. So, I think that there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to spirituality and it comes to like healing and it comes to religion. Like for me personally, again, when I speak, I'm talking about myself, all right? And things that I've been through and my opinions, my beliefs, and you don't have to adopt the same. You're free to think and feel whatever it is you feel and whatever it is you think. You're completely entitled to that. And I welcome it. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to adopt your thinking or whatever it is that you have. And you don't have to adopt mine. And I'm a free thinker. And I choose to be a free thinker. And so I embrace people for, thinking and believing what they want. But let me just caveat to that. Because I've worked on myself so much and I've went in and dug so deep within the pits of my soul and really danced with the dark shadows, danced with the devil, danced with all kinds of things. Like there's nothing nothing that I'm not afraid to talk about, or be completely transparent or authentic when it comes to things that I put out and stuff like that. But I also know that healing and not allowing things that are projected onto you or manipulated or all this stuff that you go through, attacks, whatever, because I've been exposed to so much and I've been able to make it through to the other side of it, I know that it's a possibility. I'm a walking testament of that, right? And I want to help people get to that place because we so often enough get conditioned in our mindset to give the green light for poor behavior. And we adopt a mindset because we went through all this stuff, because we've been exposed to all this stuff, and it's okay to go into the world and mistreat people. It's okay to go into the world and be judgmental of people. It's okay to exploit one another. It's okay to live completely above your means and go on this power trip and, greed frenzy and all this stuff while other people are starving. Other people can't afford to buy houses. Other people can't put food on their table. Other people can't and again, that reminds me, earlier, there was a comment that came across my way. This is the second time I've kind of heard this. Is make sure you don't work too hard or, but still get paid or some crap like that. And it's just funny. And again, I know it's all in fun and candor and, this and that. And it's okay, well, first of all, I do work hard for my money, and so does every other American out there. And it's not my fault that the economy is where it's at and people can't afford to live and you do not want to pay them more. That is not my fault. That is not my fault. Okay? If you don't want to pay us more money, then why don't you start doing something to bring the prices down? Why don't you start doing something to bring the rental market down? Why don't you start doing something to bring the food prices down? I could go down the list. So here's a food for thought in all of those people in very leadership roles, very prominent roles, the elites, the political arena, whatever you want to classify yourself. If you're in the position, Papi T, Daddy D, and you don't want to pay people more, then why don't you work on the economy? Why don't you start there and then work your way up? All right? Because we were not put on this earth to be your worker bees while you guys get all the fruits of the labor. Do you understand? That was not the destined plan. Where rich get richer and poor get poorer. All right? So take that, spin it, and run it. But yeah. So if you want to adopt whatever mindset thinking you want to adopt to get the green light for poor behaviors, poor business decisions. Let's start there. All right. And taking advantage of the system, taking advantage of money laundering and all these different accounts and doing all these funny stuff, right? You know, the overhead and profit and all this stuff. Like, look, do you, and I'm going to do me. I'm going to do me. You know, it's so funny. People like to throw shade, but they do not like it to come back. And see, that's where it's different with me. I don't mind if you throw shade. I can take it. But be ready for what I'm going to throw back. Be ready for what I'm going to throw back. You have no idea what I'm going to throw back. I have no idea what I'm going to throw back because I move authentically. I move with transparency. I move with truth in myself. And I move with my beliefs, my morals, my values, my integrity in check. In check. I'm not out here stepping on people. And never would I ever. I want to see everybody win. I think it's crazy that we live in this world where it's just like, just craziness. It's like, look, man, I said this on my way home when I was listening to Candace Owens. I was like, man, it seems as though there needs to just be a line drawn across the 50 states. And it's like the elites and those in power go to one side. Go to the one side. And then all of us that choose to move and operate in truth and, you know, loving one another and standing on justice and, you know, things of that nature, we'll just stay on the side, you know, because I feel as though it's like it's getting there because it's just so evident. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Those that move in characters that run alongside humility and grace and humbleness, not deceit, not lies, not cover-ups. Not cover-ups, not blackmail, not coercion, none of that, none of that. And there's too many people that have been so drawn into this whole thing where it's like I said, it's a domino thing. One man goes down, they all go down. And that's why they flew in Erica Kirk, like, right here. And again, I don't have any qualms with her neither. I know she's Charlie's wife and she's the mother of his kids, and I have mad respect for her. You know what I mean? She's entitled to believe and grieve how she wants, and so am I. So am I. And there's nothing wrong with asking questions, and there's nothing wrong with not taking in the Fed slop. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. I've been a mother. I am a mother. All right. And my son and I have been attacked in more ways than one, and that was okay. And nobody lent me a hand. Nobody threw me any bones. Actually, everybody did the complete opposite. They did the complete opposite, Erica. So honestly, you know, an eye for an eye on that one. Like, at least you got some, you know, some donors and all this stuff. You got your government, you know, you got all this stuff. So you got to be very careful when you throw these stones where they're going to land. Especially when you use God's word and you misuse it. Because God knows what's done in the dark. He knows what's done in the dark. And again, I'm not saying she has anything to do with none of that. I'm just saying the facts are God knows what's done in the dark. Whether you misuse his name or not, he still knows what's done in the dark. Like, you can't run from that. I love you guys. Sweet dreams.